I know we can't ask your schools yet, but should we just start with our introductions while we wait? Should we wait for them?
Introductions.
Introductions. Okay. My name is Ray Court. I did mock trial for 2 years here at MSU. Just graduated in May. I'm a 1L at Wayne State in Detroit. I'm a law clerk at a personal injury firm currently. That's about it.
My name is Carolyn Folk. I competed here for 2 years. I won 2 Outstanding Witnesses awards. I was a captain, historian, and vice president. Then I coached for a year. And now currently I'm working as a paralegal at an immigration and criminal defense law firm. So.
My name is Loic Demet. I did mock trials as an undergrad as well for 3 years. And I'm also a 1L here at the law school here.
Do you want to do some general comments and then
I
follow up and ask
let them
specific
do
stuff?
their comments since they're the ones who scored it, so I'll just throw in some stuff at the end, I guess.
Sure, I'll just kind of keep it very general, but overall, very good job. Everybody. One thing that I will say is you guys have to remember that we're constantly watching you all from the very beginning to the very end. For example, I believe you were smiling and laughing throughout your witness back there, throughout her testimony. So try to stay composed and professional throughout the entire proceedings. And
You kind of bought into the character. I mean, you're a funny character, right? Was it Isaacs? You're Hartman, excuse me. You know, you're a very out there character, and it kind of wore off on the attorneys as well. But your attorney should be there straight face the whole time.
the whole time.
You don't think I should look like I'm actually engaged? That's what I was trying to look like I was actually listening. But is that not what it looked
I
like?
felt like you were stinging.
Yeah, it
I
kind
was
of
trying to look actually like I was listening.
it came off more as you're just laughing along with the inside joke.
okay.
You know, that's what you wanted to do.
Okay.
Overall, I thought a really good job all around. Just a couple points of interest. One thing that to consider is that when you have the chance to take the story from the other side, it's basically your opportunity to lay down the facts. So from the very beginning, because I have no familiarity with this case whatsoever. So you've got to assume that your judges don't know what's going on. And this case is kind of complicated because when it opened up at first, I thought it was just like, oh, is this about theft of tickets? I didn't know I had to do so many county cases really. But the important thing to do is to lay out the storyline and try and make it concise first of all. And because the other thing is try and you make clear each person's role in the case because there's a lot of characters in this case. And it's not entirely clear right away who they are and what their significance is to the actions at hand. So one thing you want to do is clarify who you are. And when you clarify what your role is in all this, and what your role is at the park, or your role at the bar is, or what you saw, it's also a great chance for you to define your character. Because then you can fall back on that character and use it to structure your responses and get out of question problems on cross and seize the day. Because the more control the more you say about what actually happened and the more control you have over the ongoing storyline, the more likely it's more likely the judges will think, oh, what's going on? Oh, this goes back to what that person said. This is this person's story. So the more claim you can assert over the case itself, the stronger it brings to both your attorneys and your witnesses. So.
As for me, I think both teams did a really good job presenting themselves as lawyers. I think that's very important. But there are a few things you guys can fix. I'll just try to give you what you can fix for tonight. This might not necessarily be fixable for tonight, but you use your hands a lot when you speak. You're very dynamic, and at points it is distracting. So when you're doing your closing, especially, try to just use them when you're making a big point, because that's what everyone's going to notice. Ben, fix your tie a little bit. You're always off to the side.
Blame Rex, he tied it.
Okay, well, whoever's to
And
blame,
Lance,
you have 5 other people on your team who didn't say, hey, let me get that for you. So, little teamwork as well. Mr. Green, right?
Yes.
On the speculation objection. You had an argument there. For me personally, I think you didn't quite get to where it went to state of mind. I think you probably can get there, and I think from your reaction that you probably have gotten there before, because when you sat down, you went, ouch.
Oh, I hit my leg on this.
Okay. Either way, you gotta be observant, know what's going on, because when I just see you go, ouch, when you sat down, it looks like, oh man, this judge just isn't buying my argument. And, sit down, be aware of where you're hitting your legs apparently, but, sit down, look like even though you lost, you still won, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Other than that, I think both teams did really good. My two witnesses that I'll give feedback on is Ms. Bowman. You ran a lot on cross-examination. You ran and ran and ran, and I had to let her cut you off just because you were running a lot. So tonight, when you guys are at the room working on it, get crossed and work on giving concise, shorter, get your point out, but yes and no answers. Because, I bought your character. I bought that you're just, the shy, kind of following along with a friend. I don't know how I got mixed up in this. I kind of bought it. I think it fits you well. But when you're just trying to make excuse, it's like, okay, well, where is she going? And then I already forgot the character. Tyler Hartman, right? I kind of bought your character as well. You came off to me as like a Saturday Night Live kind of character, just like someone Kristen Wiig could play in a sketch. And some judges really love it, and they like the outlandish ones, and I think you played it a little too strong. I think you can bring it down a notch, still be effective, and still score your character points. Other than that, I think everyone else, kudos to everyone, you all did great.
Was there not any exhibits or any
Yeah,
evidence
that's
that you
another
guys
thing.
bring in?
Nothing that really helps our cases.
At all? Nothing?
Not really.
I saw there was like an MP3 audio file. Like,
It is the most
It's-
worthless
it's-
recording.
it's- it's 3 minutes
Exhibits
of-
that you can offer.
don't know
There's
what
text
it's talking
messages
about.
from Cameron Poole and LeBowman, and then there's a map of Rockville which helps outweigh what happened.
I feel like if you can bring it in without looking silly, because not bringing in anything.
Yeah, it's dry, and the judges and the jurors are going to be like, how come I have nothing to look at? Especially the experienced mock trial people. Bringing in effective exhibits are going to score you points all day long, and it's going to make your case a lot stronger. I would think the map, during one, can you kind of just explain how it worked, which direction you saw them go in on the map, something like that.
You asked about moving about the well and everything.
Yeah.
And we moved about the well.
Oh yeah, another thing, most of you I think did it, a few of you, lawyer positioning. If you're cross-examining someone, get in front of their lawyer, get away from the juror so that way they don't look at us. Some of you on cross-examination were standing right here and the witness is making eye contact with the jurors all day long, scoring points with them, make it harder for the other team. And I think on objections, you're mostly sticking to the IRAC formula. You're pretty good. I think a few you kind of got off, just kind of trying to get the on the spot why, gut feeling why I'm making this objection or making this argument, which is fine. But a little more tightening up with the objections too, I guess. All right, schools, questions, what's going on with you guys?
We're the
We're
finalists.
Surprise.
Yeah, so,
All right.
yeah.
Northwood University.
I thought that's what I thought. I recognized a few of you. All right. Everyone enjoying East Lansing so far?
Yes.
I'm here all the time. I don't have a choice.